Hello, everyone. Hello. Good morning and good night here, Beijing. I'm Patrick Lin. We're so happy to be here, gathered together to celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival. And the 15th day of the eighth month in the Chinese lunar calendar is the Mid-Autumn Festival, which means that this year's Mid-Autumn Festival falls on the 10th of September. The Mid-Autumn Festival is one of the 4 traditional Chinese festivals which officially appear in China during the Tang Dynasty and even spread to Asian countries such as Korea and Japan. Do you know the myth behind a full moon? Do you want to know how to send blessings in Chinese during the Mid-Autumn Festival? And how much do you know about the customs of this festival? Let's spend the festival together in the cloud and talk about the moon. So let's start by watching a video in Portuguese about the introduction of Mid-Autumn Festival. Wait a minute.
O Festival da Lua, ou Festival do Meio do Outono, chegou e milhões de pessoas interrompem a correria habitual para comemorar a data. Uma tradição que começou durante a dinastia Tang há mais de 3.000 anos, como um momento de reunião de todos os integrantes da família.
É um festival de amor pela família, de reencontro.
O Festival do Meio de Outono é considerado um dos mais importantes da China e é comemorado no 15º dia do 8º mês lunar, que este ano cai no dia 21 de setembro. Durante os 3 dias de feriado, os chineses fazem diversas atividades recreativas e viajam por todo o país. Assim como no ano passado, as autoridades estabeleceram sérias medidas epidemiológicas para garantir a segurança durante os deslocamentos em meio a novos surtos de Covid-19. Uma das tradições mais importantes da festa é trocar presentes ou encontrar parentes e amigos para degustar os famosos bolinhos da lua, massas com recheios diversos, cuja forma e sabor variam nas diferentes regiões do país.
Tudo é muito tradicional, colorido. Comemos e preparamos os bolinhos da lua com diferentes texturas e recheios e nos sentamos para ver a lua, que fica mais brilhante nessa época.
Uma das lendas que dá origem ao feriado é a história de amor entre o arqueiro Hou Yi e Chang'e, que bebeu um elixir que a fez voar até a lua e se tornar uma deusa. Embora a história de Chang'e remonte a milhares de anos, a deusa ainda é muito presente até hoje. As missões espaciais da China à Lua levam seu nome, e o rover que percorreu centenas de metros no satélite terrestre foi batizado em homenagem a seu inseparável companheiro, o coelho de Jade. Iramsi Peraza, Telesur, Pequim, China.
Okay, from the video, we can generally understand about the origin and the customs of the Mid-Autumn Festival. So let's learn more about the history and the story behind the Mid-Autumn Festival. Just wait a second. In traditional culture, the moon, like the sun, these 2 alternating heavenly objects becomes the object of worship for the ancestors. The Mid-Autumn Festival celebration originates from the Asian worship of the moon, which is the inheritance of the Chinese custom of moon sacrifice. Moon sacrifice is a very ancient custom in China. In fact, it is a kind of worship activity for the moon god in some parts of China in ancient times. And when it comes to the origin of the Mid-Autumn Festival, the most famous mythological story is still Chang'e 奔月. Chang'e runs to the moon. Let's watch an animation together.
As the legend goes, in the distant past there was a beautiful woman called Chang'e. Her husband Hou-yi was a brilliant archer. At that time, there were 10 suns in the sky, and the people on Earth were living in the blistering heat. To save the Earth, Hou-yi used his bow and arrow to shoot down 9 of the suns. Hou-yi was respected as the national hero and received an elixir of immortality as a reward for saving the people from the heat of multiple suns. However, the elixir only had enough for one person, and both Chang'e and Hou-yi didn't want to leave each other. But one day, one of Hou-yi's students tried to steal the elixir when he wasn't home. In order to protect the elixir from thieves, Chang'e took the magic elixir of immortality. Then she flew to the moon and became the moon goddess, leaving her husband behind. Alone on Earth, Hou-yi missed his wife so much that he made an offering to the moon and tried to find the shape of Chang'e on the moon. To remember Chang'e, Chinese people worship the moon by eating fruit and moon-shaped desserts called mooncakes. This is the legend of the origin of the Mid-Autumn Festival, which is also called the Moon Festival. Nowadays, the Mid-Autumn Festival, which is also a harvest festival, has become a family holiday like Thanksgiving. Chinese people celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival by having a large dinner with family, worshiping the moon with gifts, traveling, viewing lantern shows, eating various desserts, and flying lanterns to pray for their happiness and the happiness of their families.
Okay, the story of Chang'e running to the moon is very romantic and divine. In fact, many traditional Chinese festivals are associated with mythological stories, and these interesting stories and mythological characters add a mysterious touch to the traditional Chinese festivals. And then let's move on to the next part. The development of this festival. The Mid-Autumn Festival became an officially recognized national holiday around the Tang Dynasty. The custom of Mid-Autumn Festival was already popular in the north of China during Tang Dynasty. The Book of Tang Records of Emperor Taizong records 8月15中秋节, which means Mid-Autumn Festival on the 15th day of the 8th month. Many poets wrote poems about the moon and combined it with mythological stories, such as Chang'e running to the moon, making it full of romantic colors. The Tang Dynasty was an important period when traditional festival costumes were consolidated and shaped, and the main part of them has been inherited to this day. And according to the Chinese calendar, August is in the middle of autumn and the second month of autumn, so called 仲秋. And August 15th is in the middle of 仲秋, so it is called mid-autumn. In addition to being called the Mid-Autumn Festival, there are actually many other names for this festival. In ancient time, there were activities to worship the moon on the autumnal equinoctial, so it was also called the Moon Festival. Since the festival falls on the 15th day of the 8th month, it is also called 八月节, August Festival, or 八月半, August half. The Mid-Autumn Festival is also called 团圆节, Reunion Festival, and 女儿节, Daughter's Festival, because the moon is full, families are reunited, and married daughters return home for reunion. In Guangfu region, Mid-Autumn Festival is commonly called 月光蛋, Moonlight Festival. So, what are the customs of the Mid-Autumn Festival? Let's start it with some of the most common ones. The first custom is 祭月, moon worship. Moon worship is a very ancient custom in China. In fact, it is a kind of worship activity of the ancient Chinese people to the moon god. The second custom is 点塔, burning pagoda. Today, some areas in Guangdong will still use tiles to stick pagodas and then burn the fire to light the festival. The third custom is 赏月, moon viewing. The custom of the moon viewing originates from the moon festival, where the serious ritual is transformed into a lighthearted entertainment. It is also said that the moon is the closest to the earth on this night, and the moon is the largest and the brightest. So it has been customary to drink and enjoy the moon since ancient times. The fourth custom is 追月, chasing the moon. The so-called chasing the moon means that after the 15th day of the 8th month of the Chinese lunar calendar, many people invite their friends and relatives to continue enjoying the moon on the following night, called chasing the moon, 追月. In fact, in China, different regions have some special customs for the Mid-Autumn Festival. For example, in Chaoshan, Guangdong, it is customary to eat taro during the Mid-Autumn Festival. In August, when taro is harvested, farmers are accustomed to worship their ancestors with taro. Not only that, people in Guangdong have a very splendid celebration that is burning pagodas. Let's take a look at this video. Okay, actually, I am from Guangdong, China. So I did see people burning pagodas on the Mid-Autumn Festival when I was a kid. I remember the spectacle was so amazing, breathtaking, magnificent, and shocking. Adults and children alike cheer for the flying flames, and the people's emotion were completely released on this day. Now let's move on to the next part. Actually, in addition to China, the Mid-Autumn Festival is celebrated in many other countries in Asia. Okay. For example, in Korea, the Mid-Autumn Festival is a day for sweeping graves and making offerings to ancestors with newly harvested grains and fruits. On this day, Koreans return to their hometowns to visit their relatives and send gifts to their friends and relatives. This is why the Korean Mid-Autumn Festival is also called Korean Thanksgiving Day in English. In Japan, the traditional Mid-Autumn Festival is called the 15th night. Japanese people eat dumplings of rice while enjoying the moon, called tsukimi dumplings. Since this is the time when various crops are harvested, Japanese people hold various celebrations to express their gratitude for nature's bounty. So Japanese people also enjoy the moon, which is called tsukimi, and display moon dumplings, mangoes, and taro inside the house. So after learning about the origin, history, and customs of the Mid-Autumn Festival, would you like to see what the streets of China are like on the day of Mid-Autumn Festival? At this moment, our guest Jinglu is in Shijiazhuang, Hebei province. So let's connect with Jinglu and see where she is now.
大家好，
Jinglu 在吗？
大家好，可以
Okay,
看到吗？
我们可以点击 we can click the Jinglu's box and then we can see her. Hello, Jinglu.
Hello，大家好，我是大家的外景老师。我现在所在的位置是河北正定的长乐门前。长乐门呢，距今已经有500多年的历史了。登临长乐门，可以看到远处的滹沱河。在每年的8月15中秋节和正月15的元宵节，大家都会来到长乐门来观赏月亮、观赏美景。但今天稍稍有一点遗憾的是，今天是一个阴天，我们无法看到江圆未圆的月亮。希望明天呢是一个好天气，大家可以看到圆圆的月亮。
好的，景路，哎，那今年的中秋节你打算怎么过呢？
因为我明天晚上是有课的，所以我们一家人今天提前过了中秋节。刚刚和我的爷爷奶奶，我们一家人一起吃了团圆饭。但是在往年呢，吃完晚饭之后，我们会一起嗑螃蟹，吃一些螃蟹，然后来赏月，或者是就在长乐门前散散步、走一走。
所以今年的中秋节你要和你的学生们一起过，对吗？
对，今年的中秋节一定是和我的学生们一起过了。
那明天刚好是就是中秋节嘛，然后如果你在上课的话，你想不想就是教一下你的学生们中秋节一些祝福语呢？
中秋节的祝福语一般我们会说祝阖家团圆，阖家团圆，然后祝长辈要身体健康，万事如意，就是这些吉祥的祝福的话。
所以只要是好的祝福语、好的话，都可以在这一天分享出来，对吗？
没错。
好，那我们在线上跟我们一样在云端的观众朋友们，有没有人想要提问呢？有没有人想要跟我们的景路聊一聊，或者是说跟他问一下现在他所在的地方的一些故事？ So we can have some volunteer here to propose some questions regarding to this festival and something you are interested. So Jinglu and I am here. 所以有没有人有任何的想要知道的呢？
今天是今天是8月14，然后今天是8月14，但是在广场上今天看不到，今天是一个阴天，对，
不太好，但明天一定能看到，对不对？
明天一定能看到，我希望是这样的。
好的，好的，好的，好，非常感谢景路，非常谢谢你，谢谢，辛苦了，辛苦了，拜拜，
拜拜。
好，那我们也非常感谢景路 so many gratitude to 景路 one of the teachers in the Confucius Institute. To celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival, Jing Lu and I have prepared 2 Chinese poetry recitations for you. Jing Lu's performance will be presented in the form of a video, and my performance will be presented directly in the online meeting room. First, let's enjoy Jing Lu's recitation, 水调歌头。
水调歌头，明月几时有？作者苏轼。丙辰中秋，欢饮达旦，大醉作此篇，兼怀子由。明月几时有？把酒问青天。不知天上宫阙，今夕是何年？我欲乘风归去，又恐琼楼玉宇，高处不胜寒。起舞弄清影，何似在人间？转朱阁，低绮户，照无眠。不应有恨，何事长向别时圆？人有悲欢离合，月有阴晴圆缺。此事古难全。但愿人长久，千里共婵娟。
Many thanks to Jing Lu for the wonderful performance. And this poem conveys the best wishes, as the poem says, 但愿人长久，千里共婵娟. We wish each other a long life so as to share the beauty of this graceful moonlight, even though miles apart. The next recitation I'll give is 我的南方和北方。我的南方和北方，自从认识了那条奔腾不息的大江，我就认识了我的南方和北方。 我的南方和北方相距很近，近的可以隔岸相望；我的南方和北方相距很远，远的无法用脚步丈量。大雁南飞，用翅膀缩短着我的南方和北方之间的距离。燕子归来，衔着春泥，表达着我的南方和北方之间的温暖情谊。在我的南方，越剧、黄梅戏好像水稻和甘蔗一样生长；在我的北方，京剧、秦腔好像大豆和高粱一样茁壮。太湖、西湖、鄱阳湖、洞庭湖倒映着我的南方的妩媚和秀丽。黄河、渭河、漠河、塔里木河展现着我的北方的粗犷与壮美。我的南方也是李煜和柳永的南方。一江春水滔滔东流，流去的是落花般美丽的往事和忧愁。梦醒时分，定格在杨柳岸晓风残月中的那种伤痛，也只能是南方才子佳人的伤痛。我的北方也是岑参和高适的北方。烽烟滚滚，战马嘶鸣，在胡天8月的飞雪中，骑马饮酒的北方将士正向着刀光剑影的疆场上逼近。所有的胜利与失败，最后都消失在边关冷月下的墨风中。我曾经走过黄山、庐山、衡山、峨眉山、雁荡山，寻找着我的南方。我的南方却在乌篷船、青石桥、油纸伞、鱼鳞瓦的深处隐藏。在秦淮河的灯影里，我凝视着我的南方。在寒山寺的钟声里，我倾听着我的南方。在富春江的柔波里，我拥抱着我的南方。我的南方啊，草长莺飞，小桥流水，杏花春雨。我曾经走过天山、昆仑山、长白山、祁连山、喜马拉雅山，寻找着我的北方。我的北方却在黄土窑、窗花纸、热土炕、蒙古包中隐藏。在雁门关、山海关、嘉峪关，我与我的北方相对无言。在大平原、大草原、戈壁滩，我与我的北方倾心交谈。在骆驼和牦牛的背景里，我陪伴着我的北方走向遥远的地平线。我的北方啊，大漠孤烟，长河落日，唢呐万里。自从认识了那条奔腾不息的大江，我就认识了我的南方和北方。从古到今，那条奔腾不息的大江就像一根琴弦，弹奏着几多兴亡，几多沧桑。啊，我的南方和北方，我永远的故乡和天堂。 Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to next part. In recent years, there have been more and more performances about the Mid-Autumn Festival in China. In addition to showing the traditional culture and ancient flavor of the Mid-Autumn Festival, some of these shows also integrate modern technology, achieving a veritable combination of the ancient and modern. Next, let's enjoy some amazing performances about Mid-Autumn Festival, during which I will explain.
少林寺72绝技，苦练皆可入门。只有战胜自我，守护初心，才是功夫之本。
The divine charm of the play. This is a mid-autumn seasonal play that is modeled to celebrate mid-autumn festival. 王建City Walker. This performance shows the journey of Venerable Xuanzang in West Zhujian as a way to promote the spirit of Venerable Xuanzang as a traveler and the memory of cultural dissemination. Meeting Henan. This performance focused on showing the Henan element of folk music, but an electronic music style and including arrangement combined with the cyberpunk style XR visual reinforced the futuristic and modern feel. Harmony. In a creative Taiji, two martial arts champions cut their teeth on Taiji techniques. Taiji, with its softness and flexibility and its movement and stillness, is Chinese Kung Fu and the philosophy of the Chinese people. 若思念，必思念。If you miss it, you miss it. This is one of the most famous singers in China at the moment, Gong Shen. This is a song he wrote himself, expressing his nostalgia for his hometown. This is for the Mid-Autumn Festival.
想起那时方言，谁又在谁心间？在北边只等一只客家船。龙门山听到雁归南，鼓楼远北望有炊烟。我在你心间，是你我执意相守的诺言。云开，我知道你在眷恋，眷恋再不会走远。即使相隔千里，也并不遥远。风起，你知道我在期盼，期盼你回到身边。人若思念变思念，终会相见。
Okay, that's all the shows and performance we just watched. It's very brilliant and fantastic. So I think these shows could really enhance our understanding of this festival and some Chinese culture. It's really charming. So time flies and today's sharing is coming to an end. Every year at the Mid-Autumn Festival, the most complete and beautiful moon always arrives as scheduled. It's like an appointment telling us that every year at this moment, we should get together and talk about what we have experienced and how much we have grown this year. Even if we cannot see each other in person, we should let the people who love us know that we miss each other. So at the end of today's online gathering, I would like to say, 但愿人长久，千里共婵娟. We wish each other a long life so as to share the beauty of this graceful moonlight, even though miles apart. Okay, see you next time. Have a nice day. See you next time. Have a nice day. But if you have any question, I'm still here, or we can have a free talk. 如果比如说刚刚我们的听众有一些想要聊的，我们可以现在 turn on your microphone. Okay. Okay. Let's just call it a day and have a really nice day. And happy Mid-Autumn Festival. 中秋节快乐，中秋节快乐。一定要吃 moon cake 月饼。拜拜。